Set 2 will be played on Naro Station. Spawning in the bottom left-hand position as the blue Zerg from KT Rolster Kenny snap his losing streak. His name is Action.
His opponent spawns as orange Protoss on the right top corner of the map. His name is Argo, playing for Kespa teammate.
Indeed. Alright, well, Argo, you know, hasn't been doing amazing recently, but the same can easily be said for Action, so at the very least, one of these guys are going to get a little bit more confidence, and these guys have not played each other at all in StarCraft2, but in StarCraft1, we do have Argo leading 1-0 over his opponent, but that was all the way back in 2009.
So it doesn't even matter at this point.
Yeah.
Now the question of the day, the person who's in first place with the most wins right now is Flash from KT Roaster. Now, how many most wins award did Flash get in the previous Pro League seasons?
I think he's going to get one this season as well, and that's why they put the camera on him.
I think he's actually thinking about it right now. And also asking his teammates, how many most wins did I get? Okay.
He's like, oh, I am in first place. That's right, I forgot. I got so used to just always being up there that I don't even think about it.
Well, we see Argo opening up with the gateway first.
Yeah.
His main base, also getting in gas, which leads me to believe the, ever so popular Heart of the Swarm gateway expand build.
He put up a 4 real quickly.
Wasn't that a 3? Actually,
I think he put up 4.
I only saw it for half a second, so I'm not sure.
The camera just like quickly zipped on there and then zipped off.
Now, Argo, when it comes to this particular matchup, Kespa plus WCS games, he is 6-5. His opponent, Action, only 2-3 in ZvP, but not as bad as at his overall record, which is a 4-13.
I love how they keep putting the camera back to Flash, and you're just like, stop it, guys, come on.
Hold on a second, we have a third hatchery before pull.
Ooh. Nice, and you know what? This build, actually, it's not that bad if your opponent goes for the gateway opening.
And also, his Action's last win was against Rain back in earlier this year, January 26th.
Wow.
And it's going to be his first victory in Pro League in 149 days if he wins today.
Yeah, a win against Rain is very impressive, but that's a long time since your last
It's been a long time. Now, Action opening up really greedy against his opponent, as now he checks that his opponent went for the gateway first into expansion.
Yeah, seeing the Nexus time in there, it's going to easily confirm to the Zerg player Action that he's going for the gateway and base expand, because the Nexus would be a little bit earlier if it wasn't, and also you'd see like the Forge and stuff.
So now it's really up to Action to make this work. 3 hatchery before pull is a nice economic lead against the gateway expand from the Protoss opponent, but the Protoss opponent can easily go for 2-base timing attack with the gateway timing attack behind this because his opponent opened up so greedy.
Yeah, but getting those 3 extra hatcheries out gives him the economy and lava early on enough to deal with that pressure.
Oh yeah, definitely. But some players, they just like, they fumble up a little bit, and we've seen some cases where the Zealots do a lot of damage before the units are out.
Yeah, and also taking the expansion in this location is going to make it a little bit harder for the Protoss player, the Scout. He could scout from the other side if he wants to, but the right side of this map, the predominant, I guess, side of the map, there's more expansions on that end, and it's wider.
Greed versus greed as Argo.
Show me the money.
Yeah, Argo takes a quick third against his opponent.
Yeah, wow, man. We are seeing just a lot of very fast expansions here from Protoss players nowadays versus Zerg, and the Zerg players are getting more and more likely to go for the hatch first, or even the 3 hatch before pool.
I mean, let's be honest, the Protoss player going for early third doesn't really surprise me because a lot of Protoss players try to go for it, try to get the cannon up, and fortify the position to make sure they have an early lead against their opponent. By Action, knowing that Protoss players love to go for early expansion, decided to take third hatchery before pull today.
All right, well, also, Argo's seeing that hatchery up and online and already having the queen there. It should probably tell him that I think my opponent went for a really fast third base.
Yes.
Probably it was the 3 hatch before pool opening. And Argo's going to actually be really happy with that because this means that Action, he's not going to really punish Argo
He
for
can't.
going for that fast third. He can't.
He can't punch the third base at all right now because of the opening that he did. So he doesn't have to worry about the gateway pressure build from Argo anymore. All he can worry about is how does he actually catch up in the econ wars, especially with him not punishing the third base.
I actually wish that we could see like Tempest this game. This is the perfect positions for it.
Yeah,
and, that base is confirmed now.
You know, I'm a little bit surprised that Action actually took a fourth base over there. Not the fourth base, the third base over there, because the Tempest we saw on this map with, I think Trap actually, or Deer, one of those two players from STXO using Tempest to the fullest potential. That's also the reason why the map hasn't been patched so that the minerals are on the left side.
Yeah. But
there's away from the dead area.
There's still a lot of range here, though, that the Tempest is going to be used, and it's going to be really hard to deal with them regardless.
Yes.
But still, you know, it is manageable. That's actually a lot of sentries here from the Protoss player Argo, and he's making 5 gateways, getting the +1 behind this as well. The Protoss players, the metagame always changing in Pro League. It just always happens, man.
Yeah, well, what happens. Now with Action seeing a third base, we are going to have a Spire. But the problem is the attack's going to hit before the Spire even finishes, and Action doesn't have any unit right now.
Not liking how this is going for Action right now. He's just going to get pretty much... I feel like he's going to get crushed, and he's just like, you know, caught with his pants down.
Yeah, well, he is making additional roaches behind this. Make sure that he doesn't die to any timing pushes, but the problem is Argo is already at third base.
And look at that, 67 drones made from the Zerg player, and the Queen's getting caught out of position as well. Roach is coming out, but I'm not sure if it's enough already. We have the drone line trying to help the fight here. Force fields, time warps go down, and I think this is going to be a quick one-sided victory for Argo from the look of things.
Yeah, well, he has a lot of Queens over there, but nice force fields trapping the army, and he's even going to take out the rocks.
And yeah, if he can kill that rock tower, that's going to pretty much secure him taking out that third base. Now, a lot of the sentries are getting picked off here. Action trying to do his best to defend here, but will it be enough? I'm not sure.
He lost a lot of drones behind this attack, so even if he defends, he's not going to have great economy behind this. And look at Argo right now. He's sitting on 3 bases. He's making 3 probes at the same time, so his economy is fantastic. No more Queens left on the field also, which means that there's not going to be any larva pumping from our Zerg player Action.
All right, the additional Zealots warping in here, I think, should be able to seal the job. There's no Roach speed either, which is something to point out. They are fighting on creep, which helps, but yeah, I think there's just too many Protoss units here. Now, 84 of the 75 supply. The Protoss player taking a very significant lead, and this third base is going to fall very shortly as well. Action trying to take another expansion from the bottom right-hand side. He is building a lot of Lings and Roaches right now, but he can't build any mutas, and I think that's what he did want to make this game.
And the problem, and this is why Overlord positioning is so important when it comes to PvC. You need the Overlord scouting, you know, those little locations around the base, and you also need a couple of Zerglings trying to make sure that your opponent is not going for the forward pylon.
Yeah, Action actually doing a really good job at picking off a lot of these Zealots here. Unfortunately, I think there's just a few too many units here.
Yes.
Excellent force field on the ramp as well, already trapping the very few amount of Roaches left. And with this, Argo going to move in here now, probably take out this expansion as well.
Actually probably prepared a long macro game against his opponent, but Argo hitting a perfect timing attack is going to win this game as the drones are getting picked off once again. That's not many drones over there, and the Roaches are just falling one by one.
Yeah, things are looking pretty darn grim now for Action, as he's down to 28 drones, pulling 6 Roaches to a pair of Lings, and he's got to be feeling pretty sad about this because, you know, he hasn't won in a long time. And GG is called. Argo taking game number 2, just reminding KT Rolster that they're not a pushover and that if you want to beat Kespa Team 8, you got to get through all of their players.
So Argo taking a convincing victory in set number 2 as the score is tied up 1-1 between the two teams.
Yeah, I think that everything worked out perfectly for Argo that game as far as his opening went, the build orders for him, his opponent, and the strategy of choice on that map. Naro Station is a very small map, so timing attacks are very easy to execute if you think about it.
So the next match is going to be on Core Hall Floating Island. We have the top 4 Zerg player from KT Roaster. His name is Crazy. He is going to face the Terran Ace from Kespa Team 8. His name is Ty.
Yes. I would definitely say Ty's got the edge here, the advantage. Overall, I feel like he's more of a skilled player, but Crazy, you know, he can get the wins here and there when he is needed to and required to from his team. So we're going to go into set 3 in a short break. So don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be back in a few.